And then there's Oklahoma. Brr. This coming November 2nd, a Tuesday, the citizens, the eligible to vote in the state of Oklahoma, will have the opportunity to go to the polls there to answer State Question 755. It's the Save Our State constitutional amendment. We've talked about that on this show. It's a constitutional amendment that would prohibit state courts from considering Sharia law in making rulings. Even though there's not any evidence of anyone ever having considered Sharia law or having any plans of considering Sharia law. That's according to Representative Rex Duncan, who is the author of the legislation in the first place. He says, this effort is all about protecting our court system from being hijacked by an ideology that does not have America's long-term future in mind. Yeah, because everybody knows the Bible did. Talks all about America right back there in Genesis, right after the part where the Lot's daughters get him drunk and liquored up and have incestuous sex and get pregnant by him. It's right there. That's where they talk about America. Are we not at war with this ideology? Are we not at war with them? Then why would we give in to this? Give in to what? Yeah. One more trip back to, no, not yet. And then there is the Reverend Franklin Graham. This is Moran Monday, after all. I know it may feel a little bit like Prayer Meeting Wednesday, but it's Moran Monday because this is all Moran conduct, really. He showed up on ABC's This Week, and he called Islam wicked, and he called Islam evil. This was during a televised town hall-style discussion on America's feelings about Islam. But remember, Franklin has a point. Franklin doesn't like what Sharia law does to the women folk. Because, you know, that there Muslim Sharia law, well, that's mighty hard on the women, making them run around in the beekeeper suits and telling them where they can go and where they can't go and how long they can be there and what they can do with their lives. Yeah. There's only one problem. That's not a far cry from the behavior of right-wing Republicans. Not at all. Senator Jim DeMint, South Carolina, attempted to convince pastors that economic issues are moral issues at the Greater Freedom Rally at a church in Spartanburg, South Carolina yesterday, imploring them to help conservatives retake Congress in November. This from Nicole Bell's story over at Crooks and Liars. It is an excerpt of a Huffington Post article. In addition to reiterating anti-choice talking points on abortion and backing traditional marriage, you know, traditional marriage between one man and one woman at a time. Between them, I think Jim DeMint's buddies, Flush Flimbaugh and Newt Gingrich, they got about 10 of them traditional marriages amongst them. Yeah, that kind of traditional marriage. According to the Spartanburg Herald-Journal, the senator went further and said, if someone is openly homosexual, they shouldn't be teaching in the classroom. And he holds the same position. Wait for it. Because remember, we're talking about what Franklin Graham said about how hard Sharia law is on the women's. He holds this. This is a member of the United States Senate. Did I mention that? I know. He holds the same position on an unmarried woman who's sleeping with her boyfriend. She shouldn't be in the classroom neither. And she certainly shouldn't be in the classroom if she's sleeping with her boyfriend and gets pregnant. We don't want the dirty, filthy, pregnant women's in the classroom. Breathtaking, isn't it? Jim Demented has also said that women who have been raped should be compelled by force to give birth to their rapist's baby. But as Nicole Bell at Crooks and Liars notes, if she's a teacher, she's not allowed to teach while she is busy in being all pregnant and stuff, and walking around showing everybody that she's had the sex. So yes, David in Tennessee, in answer to your question, isn't Franklin's King James Version loaded with the same violence toward chariot loads of human units he's carping about supposedly in Sharia law? Yes. You don't really have to travel far at all inside the old King James Version, or virtually any other translation you might prefer, insofar as the King James is notoriously inaccurate. But they do love them some King James Version, because they like the idea of God talking like that with all them these and thous and artses and yees and yourns. Yeah, you don't have to go very far at all to find all kinds of hateful crap. That's why the enlightened people choose no religion. Right? Right. Oh, God. I've done this for 33 minutes now, and we haven't even scratched the surface. Here at some point we'll get into an object lesson in proto-Randian, sick, twisted, capitalist-driven, for-profit, the nasty stuff. We'll get into that here in just a couple of minutes. Just you wait and see. Yes, indeed. I promise. Because, after all, it is Moran Monday on the Horn. I'm Bob Kincaid. We're going to take a little break and come back to your phone calls because, assuming you all haven't hung up and discussed, well, we got some conversating to do.